Hello, my beautiful friends. Today's video is going to be a little bit different to what we have been doing. So welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to teach you how to cook patacones con hogao. We're doing this to show you a little bit of the Hispanic culture and new vocabulary. So this is a typical Colombian dish, one of my favorites, and it can be eaten here at any time of the day. Maybe like breakfast or like dinner. Maybe not at lunch unless it's eaten like a starter dish, which is very common. We call this entrada in Spanish. That translates to entrance. Los patacones, or also called tostones, in some countries are slices of flattened and fried green plantain. We call them patacones here in Colombia, in Ecuador, in Peru, and Costa Rica. And they call it tostones in Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Nicaragua. And hogao is a sauce made of onion and tomato. This dish is very popular all over Latin America. A very interesting thing about patacones is that they need to be fried twice. Not very healthy. But this is because the plantain needs to be softened first to be able to get flattened and fry it again until it's crocante, crispy. Though nowadays there are many ways to prepare this dish and people figure out ways to prepare it without needing to fry it twice. By the way, fried, frito o freído, and to fry, freír o fritar. The other ways to soften the green plantain are through microwave, microondas, or cooking them in water, cocer, to cook. But in this video, I'm going to show you the traditional way, double fried. Los patacones can be accompanied with different things, but doing it with hogao is very traditional. So the combination of patacones and hogao is heavenly. Now let's see the ingredients. Okay, so you're going to need un plátano verde, one green plantain, of course, depending on how many patacones you want to do. I'm just gonna use one. Ajo al gusto to taste. 2 tomatoes. I'm gonna use 2 because the onion is a bit big, and you want to make enough of this sauce. Trust me. Una cebolla, 1 onion. So you can also prepare this dish with cebollín or cebolla larga types, but I like to do it with cebolla blanca, white onion. You're also going to need aceite. Or margarina, butter, aceite, oil. El aceite, we're gonna need it to fry the plantain, but I personally like to prepare the hogao with butter. Salt and pepper. Besides being easy to prepare and delicious, this dish is also very friendly with our pockets. I spent less than $2 in all this. And of course, that will also depend where you are and how many patacones you need to make. So let's start with the procedure. So the first thing we're going to do is pelar, to peel our plantain. To do so, we need to cut both of its extremes. Now we're going to do a cut from here to here, like this. We make sure to not, to just do it here and not cut inside, right? And then we do this to kind of open the plantain. So we're doing this to remove la cáscara. This is la cáscara del plátano. And then we open it like this. So it came out, it didn't come out perfectly. I have to remove what's left here. And we have our plantain peeled. Okay, so depending on how many patacones and the size you want them, you need to cut the plantain. Just gonna do it like this. So 4 patacones are gonna come out of this plantain. This one is a little bit smaller. Ta-da! Okay, so we're gonna take our patacones and we're gonna put them in hot oil, in a deep pot with hot oil. The idea is for them to stay there until they are doraditos. That's the word we use for golden, for golden color with a diminutive. I love diminutives. As you can see, they changed their color. I'm gonna just leave them here for a few seconds until they are entirely done. We're not well done. All right, so this looks like it's done. So my estufa, esta es una estufa, is so fast to cook. I'm gonna put them here in a paper towel. As you can see, our patacones are doraditos. We're gonna leave them en una toalla de cocina, in a paper towel, so they can remove the excess of oil. Okay, now let's chop the vegetables. We're gonna take la cebolla, tomamos la cebolla, and we're gonna cut it in half. So you're supposed to cut the onion in small pieces. I guess this would be up to every person, but I do it like this. First, I cut my onion in half, and then I do small cuts here. So I do this so I can have the little squares here. And now I just and the squares come out. I do still think that they should be smaller pieces, so I cut them in smaller pieces. Okay, now we're going to cut the tomatoes. First, what I do is that I remove this part here. I do recommend you to really clean your vegetables. Lava tus vegetales. And I cut it in half. I do little rodajas. This is the way I do it, but I guess this depends on every person. You know, everyone cooks differently. And then we take this and we do smaller pieces. And we have the garlic.
What you need to do to peel the garlic is cut its end.
Vamos a cortar los extremos de el ajo. And we're gonna smash el ajo con el cuchillo, with the knife, like this. And this way, the peel should come off easily. Gonna do the same with this one. Please be careful while doing this. You don't want to hurt yourself. And then you cut the garlic in small little pieces. So you're gonna get something like this. I did about
6 dientes de ajo.
That will depend on how many you want to make. I'm doing this because I'm going to use them for the sauce and I'm going to use them for the patacones too. You're going to see how now. Okay, now that we have our plantain cooked, we're going to smash them. Vamos a aplastarlos. We normally do this con una pataconera That's the device that you can see in the screen, but I don't have one. So we're gonna use wrapping paper and a plate. All right, so we have our patacon wrap. Let's mash it. Okay, and then we get something like this. And this is how our little pieces of plantain are supposed to look. So we're gonna take some butter and put it in a pan, en un sartén. This is to taste. I'm using a lot of butter because I personally like it with this particular dish. And we're going to add our vegetables. So the garlic, el ajo,
And we stir.
Again, there are many ways to do this. There are some people who put the tomato first. There are some people who put the onion first. That depends on you. I'm doing it like this. You add salt to taste and pepper. I really like pepper. And we stir.
Esto se llama sofreír or sauté.
So there's a little trick my mom taught me to make patacones taste better. We're going to do un agua de ajo, garlic water. So we have the water in the dish and we add garlic to it. Then a little bit of salt. Yes, this dish is very salty. All right, so the time has come to fry our patacones. Fritar por segunda vez. Just make sure that the oil is very hot. So we're gonna put the patacon in the garlic water, en el agua de ajo, and then we throw it in the oil. I'm gonna do it with this so I don't get burned. Be careful, guys. Let's see how our Hogao is doing. All right, so this is ready. Just gonna lower it a little bit. Okay, so I have a small pot. I know I told you I'm gonna do 4 patacones, and I'm gonna do them, but I can just do 2 at a time in the little pot. So okay, so this seems to be ready. Just make sure they're hard. They must be crispy, crocantes. Alright, so our patacones are ready. We're just gonna put them in a paper towel for removing the excess of oil. Alright, so we have our final product, our patacones con Hogao encima. This recipe is delicious. They're amazing. Okay, and that was it for today's video. Thank you very much for joining me in my kitchen. I hope you have enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to smash that thumbs up button if you like this, and do let me know in the comments if you like this type of video, if you have ever tried patacones, or whatever you want to tell me. I'll be happy to know. Okay, so it's a pleasure to learn Spanish with you. Hasta la próxima.